I think we're rolling now. Hi, good morning. This is Yang Di from CGTN Live in Beijing at the Forbidden City, now known as the Palace Museum, on another spring outing to take you to enjoy the beautiful flower and the sunshine and the plants in the very center of Beijing. And I'm joined by Nadim Diab, my colleague.
Hi everyone.
Can you say something new?
It used to be the center of political power, and now it's a center of a different kind. This is the main center of attraction in Beijing. The Forbidden City is the most visited tourist site in China. And today we're just going to take you with us on a stroll around this beautiful, majestic place that is representative of monarchist China.
Yeah, and look at those flowers. They're really beautiful. And we dress like ordinary tourists just to enjoy this idyllic morning in Beijing. I mean,
I dressed to impress today. You know, the theme is flowers,
we got
and I have
flowers
my
all covered
shirt.
you. I mean, if we were lucky enough, we could have a flower shower even. A breeze blowing over, then all those flakes of flowers were falling over on us. It's just beautiful. And actually, it's quite interesting. I mean, I'm a local Beijinger, and I've known Forbidden City for all my life and learned it from my history textbook. But you know, I never knew before that there was such a beautiful place inside the Forbidden City, because it's always busy. It's always
What do you mean, the gardens?
Yeah, but this
Of course, it's a serene place.
Yeah, but I never know. It's just so quiet. And look at the surrounding here. I mean, basically, there's no people around except for us.
Right. I mean, they do say that the Forbidden City is a city inside a city because it's a city. It's called the Forbidden City, and it's inside Beijing, so it makes sense. But then when you're in it, you see how separated you are from Beijing. You know, you don't hear any sounds except perhaps for the bees, the birds, and it's just you're cut away from the hustle and bustle of Beijing.
You know, one actually, funny you should mention about the quiet and the silence and the tranquility of it. In Chinese poetry, I remember one line specifically made it very, very standing out, that the quietness, the tranquility of a place is made even more standing out by the sound of the bird.
Yeah.
If we stay a little bit quiet, maybe you can hear about that. Come on.
Oh, there you go.
But maybe it's not very easy for the camera to catch the bird who's singing at the moment. I think it's on the tree. Yeah, but it's, I mean, just look at the view of it.
There you go. It's there.
Yeah, it's lovely. You know, that bird we call it the bird of happiness. If you can, upon hearing its voice, its sound, its sing, it will bring luck to you.
Smile on my face. That's why it's happy.
No. Well, you would immerse in happiness then.
Right. I mean, it's hard not to be happy in this place. I mean, the flowers, the different kind of flowers, just the sea of colors, the smell. I mean, obviously you cannot smell, but we can, and it just smells. It smells really nice. Well, it is a garden. I mean, there's nothing unimaginary about this. But, you know, when you go throughout your day in the city, in the busy city, you know, cars and a lot of people, and then you come to the serene and tranquil place, you see the difference.
And if I can remind you this, I will be carrying my mobile phone with me all the way along this interesting trip. And if you have anything that you're interested about the Forbidden City, any comments?
A comment or a question, we will be answering and speaking out your comments to the best of our capabilities. There are a lot of things that I don't know. This is my first time in the Forbidden City. I've been living here for 5 years, and this is my first time coming to the Forbidden City. But, you know, one does a bit of research here and there, and, you know, whatever questions you guys have, just ask it out, put it online. We're on Facebook right now. We're on the app. So please do interact, and we'll answer.
Yeah, feel free to shoot your questions to us, and we have editors at home, and we also have a few producer here to pass your questions on to us, and I will be also checking up on my phone to make sure your question will be approached as soon as possible, and we'll try our best to answer them. After all, none of us is a real expert, but we did do our homework.
Of course.
Yeah, so one of the things I did research about is about the flower here. It's called the crab apple. And in Chinese culture, maybe you can look around the flowers. I mean, in Chinese culture, it stands for mildness. I mean, those beautiful flowers, they certainly the fragrance emitting out of them.
Sorry to interrupt you, but can you pinpoint which one's the crab
Basically, yeah.
apple flower?
This is it.
This is it.
Yeah, now we're standing under
Just
it.
right below it.
Yeah, it stands for some kind of mildness in tone. Because in Chinese culture, the scholars, the literature community, they appreciate something that's less strong, but not too weak. They believe the gentleness, mildness.
Mildness.
Standing for the gentleman, standing for the thing that the higher thing in the literature community that should be appreciated. And this is one of the symbols of it. And it will bring in poetry, in literature, it brings out a feeling or a sentiment that is very mild, caused either by homesick or by love. And interestingly, this flower can stand both happiness, mild, and a little bit sadness.
Oh,
And that's why I think they've planted lots of this kind of tree in front of this building. It's the building where the emperor and the princess, they used to learn the great literature, scriptures of Chinese culture.
Oh,
yeah, so
interesting.
you can see this is one of the typical.
So it's like a school of some sort. Is this, if I understood well?
Yeah, like I think you can. Although you don't expect, if you're one of the princes, you don't expect a lot of classmates.
No,
studying
I would definitely be the first in my class. That's if I were a prince, you know, especially if I'm being taught at home, because this is the home of the emperor for the last 500 years of the
Ming and Qing dynasties.
right.
So maybe you can brief us on some basic information about the Forbidden City, Nadim. I know
Right.
you did your homework well.
Right. So the Forbidden City is built. The construction for the Forbidden City started.
No worries, I will correct you if
Right,
it's,
because being next to a native Chinese, I would think twice before boasting about my knowledge. Oh, wouldn't want to step on the flowers. Boasting about my knowledge about the Forbidden City, but as far as I know, construction started in 1406, and it took 24 years, just 24 years, to build this mega space, 720,000 square meters. That's twice the size of the Vatican and 3 times larger than the Kremlin in Moscow. And it only took 24 years to build this place.
So far, so good.
24
Going on.
years, that's because there was up to 1 million workers working to erect this palace.
Yep.
And from which way are we going?
Yeah, this direction.
And from 1906, it was inhabited up until Puyi abdicated. So for 500 years, this was inhabited. This palace was not vacant. It had people, not people normally normal people. It was an emperor from the Ming dynasty at first, and then from the Qing dynasty after that.
So who was the first inhabitant of this place? Who was the first emperor ever used this place as his house?
Not me for sure.
Oh, wow. Your Majesty,
I know.
not you.
I said the last one was Puyi.
So it's my turn now.
So, and that's from the Qing dynasty and the last dynasty in China.
And
in
Puyi
Chinese
also,
history.
yeah, so Puyi was also the last emperor in China's imperial time.
Of course. So after Puyi, there was no emperor.
No.
Gone.
But the first
first
one, okay,
is-
I will be answering that. The first one, actually, which has also commissioned the building, the construction of this place, is Yongli, of Ming dynasty. He commissioned this, and it took 20 years before he could actually move in, and he was also the 3rd emperor of Ming dynasty. Of that, 14 ever lived after him. After the 11 ever lived after him. That was the first emperor the first resident here.
He was the first resident, and then from the Ming dynasty, there was 14 emperors who lived in this.
Until it lost from the Ming dynasty point of view, to a usurper who burned a vast area, a
Right.
vast width of the Forbidden City, and then it will rebuild afterwards.
Right. And then after these 14 first tenants,
Yes. I'm sure they won't pay any rent.
no, there was another 10 from the Qing dynasty until Puyi. And I just want to speak about Puyi just because I was reading about him, and he came up to the throne. He was enthroned at such a young age, right?
Basically, he knew nothing as an emperor should.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he abdicated in 1911, 1912.
That bring down to the entire empire.
The whole monarchist system in China ended with him. And just to think about the fact that he was an emperor, and the emperor is the son of heaven,
Yes.
and then to turn from that to a commoner, because to just a part of the masses, a common person, because just to think about
There, if you No, really, really. It's very simple. If you're just tuning in, this is live with the CGTN. I'm Dean Yang, and this is my colleague
Nadim.
Yep, we are live in Beijing at the Forbidden City, now known as the Palace Museum, which used to serve as the royal residence for 24 emperors from Ming Dynasty to Qing Dynasty.
Right.
And we're here, this is like a spring outing. We just took you through a very beautiful scene of flowers, and now we're moving to the center area of the Forbidden City. And if there's anything that you're interested and you want to talk about, do please leave your messages or comments on CGTN Facebook platform or on Weibo or on Twitter. We will be taking questions from you. Like I will check out my phone all along the way, and don't hesitate to text us.
Any comments, any questions? If you have any questions about the Forbidden City, do answer us. We are crossing now. We are crossing to the other side.
Be prepared to be amazed by what you're about to see.
We should have had drum rolls.
Now let's set the camera to give it a general look around the Forbidden City. And this is the outer court of it.
So, the way that the Forbidden City was constructed is done in a very smart
这就是天清宫。这就是天清宫。这就是天清宫。
If you just tune in, this is CGTN Live with Dean Yang and Nadim Diab. To house 20 through our different new platforms.
这就是天清宫。这就是天清宫。这就是天清宫。这就是天清宫。这就是天清宫。 天清宫。好，这就是天清宫。
剪角吗？我高一点。剪角吗？我高一点。剪角吗？我高一点。剪角吗？我高一点。
Time and time and again，哎。
有希望。
I guess I need to apologize again. This is live with CGTN, and I'm Ding Yang. This is my colleague Nadim Diab. We are live at the Forbidden City in Beijing, and this place now is known as the Palace Museum. It's the most visited place in one of the most visited places in China, and also
it is the most visited place, actually.
really.
It is, according to my research, up to 17 million visitors.
In the spring day in Beijing, and if you have any question about the Forbidden City and platforms, I will be checking it along the way on my phone. And we have this live on Facebook, on microblog, and also you can find us you can contact us through Twitter.
Right, but then before we move on, it's very worthy of speaking about this place. Right now we are in the outer court of the Forbidden City. For those of you who have been with us through the many interruptions and since the beginning of the live stream, we were at the inner court. And the architecture of this place is quite smart. There's the inner court where the emperor used to live, along with his concubines, with his eunuchs, with the servants, with the empresses, and then there's this place, which is the outer court. And as we can see, there's 1, 2, 3, or I should have said 1, 2, 3, because this is the most important building of this court and this whole palace, and this is called the Hall of Supreme Harmony. You're looking at me, and
I got some questions from our Facebook followers who ask, this is the 900-year-old Forbidden City rebuilt 3 times. Is that true? 900 years old?
I don't think, no, it's definitely not 900 years old. By 2020 will mark its 600th anniversary. It was built in 1406, so it's definitely not 900.
Okay, sorry for the interruption. Let's back to the subject about that big construction. What is useful? What was it useful?
Okay. As I was saying before, one of our followers asked. No, at all. We want people to comment. We want them to ask questions. We're here to help. So this is the Hall of Supreme Harmony. This is the Hall of Central Harmony, and it's a teeny tiny smaller. And then there is the Hall of Preserved Harmony. Now these three halls are the It is 37 meter high. Back in the days, this was done in 1420, and back in the days, this was the highest, the tallest building in Beijing, in the Forbidden City, and no other building could have been constructed higher. A hand?
Well, I did a little bit of homework about the Hall of Supreme Harmony. It's a useful, important event, including the ceremony, and also sometimes it's used for wedding.
Weddings,
yes,
birthdays,
exactly. And actually, you can see the size of the 3 halls. They're different. And that one, as Nadim just told you, is the biggest. And the central harmony, actually, the central harmony actually is used for a kind of a break house. You can while preparing for the ceremony, whatever that was, the emperors and empress, all the officials could have a rest in it.
Right. It's actually for the emperor alone, and the emperor used to clear his thoughts before going to that big one.
就是天清宫。好，这就是天清宫。好，这就是天清宫。好，这就是天清宫。好，这就是天清宫。好，这就是天清宫。好，这就是天清宫。